Before we get into today's video, I did want to let you guys know that this video is for educational purposes only. Please remember to be kind to everybody everywhere in your everyday life, in your home, in the grocery store, and especially in the comment section down below. Please do not show hate to anybody, anywhere. Good morning, my lovelies, my beauties, my friends. My name is Christina and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, thank you so much for clicking on this video. I really hope that you will subscribe, stick around, take a chance in hearing some things that I have to say. And if you are a returning subscriber, y'all already know, y'all are my babies. So good morning, good morning, good morning. How is everybody doing today? I hope you all are having an amazing day. I hope you all have had a wonderful week and I hope everybody is gearing up for a great weekend. So in today's video, we're going to be talking about a little bit of an older case. This goes back to 2011. And when I heard about this story, I mean, it hits on so many different notes. It's going to hit on your mommy and daddy feels. It's going to hit on the younger version of you if you are, my age and older, or people that you knew or family members, or if you were young and you have lots of friends. Like, this story has a relatable element to just about anybody, in my personal opinion. But more than anything, this story just really rings to me like, you gotta watch who your friends are. But then again, you can watch who your friends are and still get blindsided. So this is the story of Johnny Clarke and Lisa Straub. So let's just start at the beginning. Back in 2011, Johnny and Lisa were just young and in love, 20 and 21 years old. They were what I would consider as your typical young couple, just trying to find their way in life, trying to figure out what path they were going to go down. They had had some bumps along the way. They had been into some things that maybe they weren't super proud of, but they were, kind of trying to get on their feet while still dabbling in that old lifestyle. Johnny was 21 and in barber school, and Lisa was 20 and she worked at TGI Fridays and also was attending nursing school. They had their own apartment together, but due to finances being tight, they had recently decided to move back in with Lisa's parents, who lived in an affluent neighborhood in Holland, Ohio. Lisa's mother and father were Jeff and Mary Beth Straub. Johnny and Lisa both seemed to have a lot of friends. I mean, Lisa working at TGI Fridays, anybody that works in the restaurant industry, you know how that is. She had a ton of friends, people that she worked with there. And Johnny, going to school to be a barber, he had all types of friends. And then together, they had even more friends. Lisa was described as funny, outgoing, and kind. And Johnny was described by his loved ones as loyal and loving. It was rumored in Lisa and Johnny's circle that they used to brag that Lisa's parents had money. They lived in a nice neighborhood. They traveled a lot. They were successful. Her mom and dad had been together for over 20 years. And it was even rumored in Johnny and Lisa's friend group that Lisa's parents had a safe in their home that had $100,000 in it. Now, if this is true, why they would go and tell their friends or anybody this, I don't know. But nevertheless, that was the rumor. On January 30th of 2011, Lisa and Johnny were home at her parents' house alone. Lisa's parents had left to go on a cruise because they were celebrating their 25th wedding anniversary, so they had the house to themselves. At 8 p.m. that evening, Johnny's mother, Métis, called him to check in. She would often call him several times throughout the day just to chat. She was very close with her son. Before we go any further, I did want to stop and thank today's sponsor, Factor. Power up for springtime with America's #1 ready-to-eat meal kit. Get nutritious, chef-prepared meals delivered straight to your door, leaving you time and energy to tackle everything on your to-do list. Factor has delicious, flavor-packed meals to help you live to the fullest. You can choose from keto, vegan, and veggie, calorie smart, and protein plus options on the menu each week. Prepared by chefs and approved by dietitians, each meal has all of the ingredients you need to feel satisfied all day long. And Factor doesn't just have delicious meals, they also have 45 different add-ons that you can add, and I love their smoothies. If you get the smoothies, the tropical fruit is my favorite. Factor is my go-to lunch solution, especially when I'm working at the studio or at the office. All I gotta do is get one of my delicious Factor meals out of the refrigerator, pop it in the microwave for 2.5 to 3 minutes, and I have a good, well-balanced meal that is highly nutritious. And Factor is now owned by HelloFresh, and so there's a wider array of meals and there's something to choose for everyone. I love switching between brands, and now you can enjoy the brands as well too with a discount code from me. So if you guys want to try Factor, all you gotta do is go to factor75.com or click the link down in the description box and use code ChristinaRandall50 and you can get 50% off of your first box today. Thanks again, Factor. So she's calling her son over and over again, and she would even later say that sometimes Johnny would answer the phone, "Yes, Mom, I'm still alive." So they were close. They talked multiple times a day, and this day was the same. After Johnny got off the phone with his mom, he headed to a friend's house, and then at around 10 p.m., he picked Lisa up from work and they went back home together. So after Lisa and Johnny got back home, they had plans this evening to have a couple more friends come over to the house. They were gonna shoot pool, they were gonna do some things, some substances, and just party and kind of hang out at the house. Now, the two people that were supposed to meet up with Johnny and Lisa was a girl named Tiffany and a guy named Zach. At 10:41 p.m. that evening, Tiffany decided to go ahead and call Johnny and be like, "Hey, what's up? When are we meeting? Da, 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 da." When she called Johnny, she said that he picked up the phone, but he did not say hello. All Tiffany said she heard once he picked up the phone was him angrily say, "Bro, what are you doing?" She said that he said this 3 times and then angrily said, "Who the heck are you?" Then Tiffany said that Johnny said that he would have to call her back, and then she heard some commotion in the background and she was sure that she heard it and that it was a male's voice. She never gets a call back. Now, she would later be asked why she didn't call the cops, and she said she did not want to call the cops, even though she heard all this commotion in the background and it seemed sketchy, because she knew that her friends had substances, was doing substances, and she didn't want to be the one to call the police to their house and get somebody in trouble if it was just, whatever. However, when she didn't hear from them for 2 hours, she decided to drive over to the house. When she drove over to the house, this is where she saw that Lisa's car was there, but nobody was answering the door, and it seemed sketchy. So Tiffany decided to call Johnny's mother. The one that talks to her son multiple times a day. When she called Johnny's mother decided to call 911 to go over there and do a welfare check and make sure her son and his girlfriend Lisa were okay.
Hello?
Toledo 911.
Ma'am,
Mm-hmm.
my heart is beating out of my chest. I just got a call from one of my son's friends.
Okay.
Her phone number, I have it right here. She just picked my husband up too. My son and his girlfriend live out at Lawn Acre Lane.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that's Holland. This girl says she was on the phone with my son and his girlfriend, and he was supposed to go pick her up. He was telling her he was going out the door, and all she heard was the phone drop and heard my son saying in the background, "Who are you? What do you want? What are you doing here?" And she said she just drove by the house, and the house looks ransacked. All the lights are on. My son's not answering, and neither is the girlfriend.
Okay.
Oh, my God. I got heart problems, and my heart's beating out of my chest right now.
All right, I understand.
Oh, my God.
Is she still there?
No, she just came by here to pick up my husband, my son's dad, and I'm here with the other 2 younger kids.
All right, what is your name?
My name is Maite Vasquez Clarke. My son's girlfriend's parents are out of town. They left for Puerto Rico 2 days ago. I don't know how to calm myself down. My heart's beating out of my chest.
Okay, what did your son tell her?
My son was like, "Hey, Tiff, we're on our way out the door. We're coming to get you." And then all she hears is the phone drop and my son Johnny saying, "Who are you? What do you want? What are you doing here? Who are you?" And no more answers. That's all she hears. And then she says that she starts getting worried because neither of them are answering the phone. And she goes out there by the house and she sees all the lights are on and the cabinets look ransacked.
Okay, but you don't have any idea where your son's at?
He was there at the house with his girlfriend. That's where they're house sitting for her parents.
Okay, but he wasn't there when she went over there?
No, she rang the doorbell and nobody came to the door, nothing. Oh my God, ma'am, I'm so afraid something happened bad.
Okay.
Oh my God. Oh my God, my hands are ice cold. My heart's beating out of my chest.
Do I need to send you medical, ma'am?
Please do.
Okay.
When the cops arrived, they looked around. They said that they didn't see anything suspicious. They saw a TV on inside. They said that they didn't have a warrant. They couldn't go inside. And so they left. Now, later it would come out that Johnny's phone had been called 22 times. So this was not like him. By this time, Johnny's mom was flipping all the way out. She knew something was wrong and she decided she was going to have to go over there to the house herself and check on them. So at 2:27 a.m., she called back to 911.
Sheriff's office.
Listen, ma'am, I am a concerned mother. My son was in Long Acre Lane with his girlfriend house sitting. Lisa Straub lives there because her parents went to Puerto Rico 2 days ago. I get a phone call about a half an hour ago from his friend Sharita that some girl named Tiffany called her saying that Johnny and Lisa were supposed to pick her up at 11 o'clock, and she was on the phone with Johnny, my son, when he was walking out of his house, his girlfriend's house with his girlfriend, to come get her, and supposedly she heard a guy in the background screaming at my son, and my son saying, "What do you want? Who are you? Get away from us," and what have you. Okay, 4 cop cars were already out at this residence. They're not there, and her car is in the driveway. I want to know where my son's at. I want to know if they got abducted by whoever tried to assault them and rob them. And it's pretty funny that this girl named Tiffany, which is there right now by the residence, waits 2 hours to call somebody and report this.
Okay. Well, like I said, we were out there. There was nothing going on there.
Okay, where is my son and his girlfriend, and her car's in the driveway?
How would I know that, ma'am?
I need to report my son missing.
Okay. Where are you at?
I'm coming up to the residence right now.
Okay,
I'm with
what's
my
your phone?
cousin right now that's in the military. I want this girl's plate number before we go anywhere so I can give it to the sheriff on the phone. I want this plate number. Ma'am, I'm going to give you this plate number, okay?
Mm-hmm.
That this girl's car is driving. I'm going to stay calm. I am. Will you stay on the phone with me, ma'am, while I talk to this girl?
Okay, who are you going to talk to?
Okay, listen, here's the plate number. That is the girl's, the plate number of the car that this girl is driving that my son was supposedly pick up. I have a feeling you set up my son. My son is missing. He's nowhere to be found. Do you want to tell the police what you just got done telling me on the phone? Okay, come here. Ma'am, I'm going to let you talk to her because I have her blocked in Lisa's house driveway. Okay?
Okay.
Here. You tell them what you I will. Hello?
Okay, what's going on?
Okay, my friend Johnny and Lisa, they were supposed to come pick me up, me and my friend from our house, and this was like 11 o'clock, and I was on the phone with his girlfriend Lisa, and then he hung up, and we all hung up. He said they were on their way, and then I called Johnny right back because I was going to tell him that I was going to run to the store and then I would meet them at the house. Well, he was yelling at somebody like, I'm on. He goes, bro, who are you? And then he called him right back and he didn't answer. So I texted my friend Lisa's phone and I was like, where are you? Are you guys okay? And they have not answered to me or nothing. They have not answered the phone, and I've been calling and calling and calling. So I drove out to their house after my friend's mom got home, and nobody answered the door. So I drove back by our house to see if maybe they went to his mom's house, and they wasn't there. So his dad called my phone, and I was like, do you want to ride out there? And he said, yeah, and I brought him out here. And now his mom's arguing with me, saying I set him up. And, you know, they're my friends, and I'm worried about them. And if I don't have, you know, I'm worried about my friends because they were supposed to come pick me up, and they never showed up.
Okay. Are you out? Is there a couple officers? Where are you guys?
There's some officers out here.
Okay. Why don't you go talk to them, and they can help you, okay?
Okay, I'll put his mother back on the phone.
Okay. Actually, I don't need to talk to her. She just talk to the officers.
Okay.
Okay?
All right.
All right. Bye-bye.
So the police came out again. They checked around for no more than 20 minutes, y'all. They looked through windows. They tapped on doors. They said, well, it doesn't really look like anything is suspicious here. I don't know what to tell you. Now, this is what's interesting. It's alleged that one of the cops, okay, and don't even get me started on the dispatcher answering. I feel like if you're going to be a dispatcher, you need to be able to pass some sort of like empathy or sympathy test, because for the love of God, one of the cops pulled Johnny's father to the side and said, hey, listen, as a cop, I've got to tell you, y'all got to leave the premises. There's nothing to see here. We can't do anything. But he said, as a father, if I were you, I'd kick that door in and see if I can find my kid. And so Johnny's father remembered that. So after that, the cops, they cleared the premises. Everybody had to leave, whatever. And this is when Johnny's parents went up the road to the store, okay? They waited for the cops to leave and they went back to the house. When Johnny's parents got back to the house, along with, they had Johnny's mother's cousin with them, Johnny's mother sat in the truck while Johnny's father and his cousin got out to look. This is when they went around back and they were able to see something through a window that they were not expecting to see. They looked through the blinds and they were able to see Johnny and his phone on the ground. Johnny's father, whose also his name is John, immediately ran to the front of the home and kicked in the front door. Once he got in, he saw Johnny and Lisa laying on the ground with plastic bags over their heads and their hands pulled behind their backs. He ripped both of the bags off of their heads and began CPR immediately, but it was too late. They were both already gone. Johnny's mother called 911 again in a full-blown panic. And brace yourselves, because when y'all hear this conversation, just listen.
God. Oh my God. You need to get the police out to Long Acre Lane. My son is in the basement tied up at this house. I just saw him through the window. The police were out here earlier and did absolutely nothing. Both cell phones are on the ground and we can see the people. Him and his girlfriend are tied up in the basement.
Okay. All right. We'll get them out there.
Get them cops out here. I told them earlier and they wouldn't listen to me.
You need to calm down. We'll get them out there. But yelling at me is
unconscious. They're unconscious, ma'am.
Oh, okay. You said they're unconscious?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Cell phones on their body. With cell phones on their body. He's unclothed with pants on. He only has pants on. Okay. And their hands are tied.
Okay. All right. We'll get them out there, ma'am.
Oh my God.
Okay. I need you to calm down. We'll get them out there, okay?
Oh my God. Please hurry.
All right. We will.
Long Acre.
Okay.
Long Acre Lane.
I have the address. We'll get them out there.
Goodbye.
That is so hard to listen to. Imagine telling a mother who just found her child unalive to calm down. Like, okay, let's keep going here. The cops arrived back immediately, and so did investigators. Taking one look, they noticed that the crime scene looked like someone had been rummaging through the home, like they were looking for something specific. Cabinets and drawers had been pulled out, papers were all over the place, and things had been thrown around. The mattress in the master bedroom was pushed off the box spring. Clothes from the closet were pulled out on the floor, and a dresser in the closet was overturned, and the attic door was even open. Strangely, multiple pieces of jewelry were left behind, as well as $4.6 million in Iraqi money, which equals to about $4,500 in US. Later in interviews with detectives, this is when that $100,000 that Johnny and Lisa had talked about being in their parents' safe had come up by multiple different people. They talked about this money being in the safe, and it just makes you think like, you know, they were bragging to their friends, you know, like Lisa's mama's got all this money, but they're also involved in this substance life where people are using and they think people are their friends. And so this became a possible motive because obviously somebody had tore this house apart looking for something. However, with the whole house tore apart and now with just 20 and 21-year-old Johnny and Lisa passed away, Lisa's parents would tell the investigators there was no money like that in the house. The only cash that they left at the house was $40 that they left for them to order a pizza while they were gone. So whatever those people were looking for and did all this for, They didn't find it. As investigators continued to try to figure out who did this to them, they realized that even though it had snowed recently, there were no footprints around the home, which led investigators to believe the attacker came in through the garage door that leads into the kitchen. Johnny probably saw the attacker as he and Lisa were leaving to pick up Tiffany and Zach and attempted to run back into the house and tried to hold the door closed. He was a strong man who weighed about 200 pounds, so investigators believed that there was more than one attacker. Lisa's bedroom door was damaged as if she had barricaded herself in the room before the attacker broke the door open. Lisa's body was found with her hands duct taped behind her back, and Johnny's hands and feet were both duct taped. An empty wallet was found on Johnny's stomach. The bags on their heads were taped on with duct tape around their necks. And Lisa's father, Jeff, later testified that he didn't own any duct tape, meaning the killers had brought it with them. Detectives also said that the method of the slayings was also pretty unusual, that they would see like a firearm used or a sharp object used or stuff like that, but they don't typically see like a plastic bag duct taped over somebody's head like that. Police conducted several interviews with people who knew the couple or was involved, and one of the people that they interviewed was the young lady Tiffany, the one that was on the phone with Johnny when she said that she heard him saying like, "Bro, what are you doing?"
No party.
There wasn't supposed to be a party.
No,
They didn't invite anybody else over.
No, it was a last minute, hey, do you guys want to come over and play pool?
Okay.
A last minute thing. Nobody knew we was going out
And
there.
what time, do you remember about what time you guys were, was this on the phone?
Yeah.
All right. Or texting?
No, it was we were on the phone.
But you're texting too at the same time.
No.
I mean, if you're not on, okay.
No, I had texted Lisa while she was at work. Because we had talked to Johnny, and Johnny said they were going to get pills when Lisa got off work. And I was like, can you front me one and I'll give you the money back tomorrow? He said he had to ask Lisa, so I text Lisa's phone. That's where the texting came in.
Okay.
Then by the time Lisa got off work, which was at, I'm guessing, 10 o'clock, Lisa had texted me back and was like, I thought you was a friend. And then that's when I called Lisa, like, no, you took that in the wrong way. It wasn't nothing like that. Then, that's when we was on the phone talking, and it was approximately 10:30-ish when we hung up, 10:40-ish.
How long of a pause before he said anything?
He didn't say hello.
All right, so he never said anything.
Never said hello.
So, all right, so you're on the phone. Mm-hmm. How long before you hear anything on the phone? What did you?
Like, as soon as he picked it up, he didn't say hello to me, but he was like, bro, what are you doing?
All right, I want to get this down again. Bro, what are you doing? Okay?
Okay, and he said that approximately 3 times.
Okay.
Then
all right, give me his voice. Was it, bro, what are you doing? Or, bro, what are you doing?
Yeah, just like that.
He sounded pissed?
Yeah.
Did he sound scared?
No.
He just sounded pissed?
Just pissed, yeah.
All right, so you hear, bro, what are you doing 3 times? Johnny sounds pissed. Mm-hmm. All right, then what'd he say?
Then the next thing he said was, who the hell are you?
How many times?
Once. And then that's when I heard the other person in the background. But I couldn't hear what he was saying.
So you overheard a voice in the background?
A guy voice.
You're sure it was a guy?
I'm positive it was a guy.
Have you ever heard it before?
No. Well, I really couldn't tell. You know what I mean?
Right. But okay. All right, so then what?
Then he asked again, bro, what are you doing? After he said, who are
After the 3 times he said it here, he said it again.
Yeah, and that's when this guy was talking, so that's why I couldn't hear him, is because Johnny was saying, bro, what are you doing once again?
All right. Did you hear anything in the background, like a door close, footsteps? It sounded like Johnny was... Did he sound pissed here again? Mm-hmm. Did he sound pissed here?
Yeah.
Did he sound like he was out of breath?
No.
Did he sound like he was scared or nervous?
No.
Did he sound like he knew them people?
Mm-hmm. That's why I said I think that whoever did it, he knew, because, you know, if you knew Johnny.
How did he end the conversation with you?
Tiff, I'm gonna call you back, and hung up.
Okay, now.
He didn't give me a chance to talk or anything.
Okay, he just hangs up. He says he'll call you back. Okay, which means he probably knows who's in the house.
The crime scene analysts revealed multiple clues, and one was that there was multiple different DNAs found at the scene that was not just Johnny and Lisa's. They found multiple sets of DNA that was on the duct tape that was wrapped around Johnny and Lisa's neck. And then the most important clue that was found was a cigarette butt that was near the door leading from the garage. The officer that found it said that he thought it was odd that there was no ash or smell of smoke in the house. The cigarette butt had 2 sets of DNA that hit on an existing samples. This led the police to their first suspects, Sam Williams and his close friend, Cameo Petaway. On September 22nd of 2021, Sam Williams and Cameo Petaway was arrested by the U.S. Marshals for the murders of Johnny and Lisa. Sam would say he initially thought he was being arrested for a warrant that he had for a DV case that he was on probation for. Sam said that once he got down to the station and he realized that whatever he was being arrested for was much more serious than a violation of probation, he thought then that it probably had something to do with the fact that him and his girlfriend were involved in, let's just say, adult intimate relations work, if you know what I mean. However, that's not at all what they was arresting Sam for. And when asked, Sam said he had no idea who Johnny and Lisa even were.
Do you want to talk to us?
Only thing I want to know is what is it about?
All right.
And that's it. Other than that, I'm gonna wait for my lawyer. I'm not talking at all. I didn't do nothing. I don't know what this is about. Like I said, they would have called me or sent me something in the mail. I could have come down here like a civil human being. I didn't have to be humiliated like that.
All right, Sam. Nobody meant to humiliate you. Right. You know how that shit runs. You're in criminal justice.
Yes.
You know how sometimes things jump off and go down. Okay, couldn't be helped. That was not an intention to make you look small.
So what? My face just came on your guys' desk and said, "Go get that man," and you guys just went came and got me.
We'll get into that. All right. You got to be patient with us too. All right. Detective's going to run a few names by you, okay? Let us know if you know these people or not, okay?
You know a guy named Johnny Clarke? You don't know John Clarke? You know a young lady named Lisa Straub? No? Don't know Johnny Clarke? You don't know Lisa Straub? That's as good as we got.
Yeah, that's good.
That house look familiar to you at all?
No.
Have you ever been to that house? It's in Springfield Township.
No.
Okay. You sure?
I'm positive.
All right.
100% positive.
All right.
Now, during this hour-long interview, Sam said 6 different times that he did not want to talk and that he wanted a lawyer. See, in the past, Sam had been charged 3 different times for different DV charges, and he had quite a violent history. So when you look at all these charges, I can't even read all this stuff because it's just going to be like in trouble with YouTube, but trust me, or you guys can read one of the links, click down below. I mean, when you looked at his record, he seemed like a bit of a aggressive type of person. And at first, Sam told the investigators that he couldn't remember where he was on the night of January 30th of 2011. However, 8 months later, Sam came forward and said, wait a minute, I do remember where I was. I was at this bar called Bottom Line Bar with 3 of my friends. So see, I have this alibi. I was here. I couldn't have been at this couple's house. When his case eventually went to trial in July the following year, the statements to detectives were suppressed because of a violation of Sam's Miranda rights. However, ultimately, Sam was committed for the crimes of ending the lives of Lisa and Johnny, as well as burglary charge and kidnapping charge. So he still got convicted of all of this. His attorneys were able to convince the courts not to give him the death penalty. However, he did get life in prison without the possibility of parole. Cameo, his friend, was tried in a separate courtroom from Sam. However, his case was dismissed by the judge, saying the prosecutors only presented the cigarette as evidence against Cameo and that it wasn't enough. He stated that the cigarette could have been dropped by anyone and didn't prove anything. And I actually do agree with this. this because there were no ashes. It was just a cigarette butt. When I saw this photo of the cigarette butt down there in that corner like that, I thought, did somebody, reach down, put that in their pocket and throw it in the corner? It just seems so out of place. Like, who goes to do a crime like this, brings a cigarette and inflicts it in the house? Almost immediately after getting out of his interview with detectives, Sam began making calls from the county jail. Now, some of those calls were instrumental in convicting him. He even tried using different inmates' pins to hide his calls. However, they were all recorded anyways. The first call that Sam made was to his nephew Chris at 8:45 p.m. And at one point, Sam tells him, "I effed up. I'm going to be in here for a long time." Prosecutors explained to the jury that it was an admission of guilt. However, the most incriminating phone call was made on April 12th of 2012 to Stephen Petaway. Stephen was the brother of Cameo, and Sam tells him, "That was supposed to be me and you, but little bro had to step to take your spot, man." Then Stephen responded to him and said, he didn't do it right like I was going to do it right. And then Sam says no, but basically he got the job done. And then another nail in Sam's coffin was this guy named Eric, who would later be known as the Jailhouse snitch. And this is what kind of sealed the deal for me. Eric came forward as a jailhouse snitch and ended up testifying against Sam. Now, Eric knew all about the case and was able to tell investigators that he heard about all of this from Sam. Now, originally, investigators thought, okay, everything that Eric is telling us is public information. He's trying to cut a deal, However, Eric told investigators that Sam had told him about the Iraqi money. That information was not made public at all. So the fact that Eric knew that was just kind of like he had to have heard that from him, because nobody knew about that 4.6 million in Iraqi money other than the people that were there that went through that house. So from the phone call that Sam made to Cameo's brother, it does make it sound like Cameo was there. But would he leave his cigarette in that corner? I mean, how dumb do you got to be? Did it fall out of a pocket? I mean, who puts a cigarette butt in their pocket? I don't know. Nevertheless, the only person that has been arrested, tried, and convicted of the crimes against Johnny and Lisa is Sam. If you look at this case, more than one person was involved. So there's a couple people that are still out there that were involved in this that never got held accountable. The DNA that was found at the crime scene that came into question was 5 different types of DNA, 4 males and 1 female. And it just seems like there's more people involved. But I guess Sam didn't snitch on him because he's doing his time and he could have, told or whatever. This case is sad to me because it's just like I said in the beginning. You see this young couple, 20, 21 years old, that were both going to school, trying to get on their feet, but also still living that little bit of a reckless lifestyle where they were doing substances, hanging out with their friends, maybe talking big and bad and bragging to their friends and not realizing that not everybody that around them was actually their friend, especially when you're hanging out in certain types of circles. You're hanging out with certain types of people. I also felt really, really bad, you guys, for Johnny's mom, calling 911 over and over again for them coming out there. They don't see anything, and they basically had to take matters into their own hands. And we've seen that over and over again. I'm not saying jump in front of investigators and mess up a case or do anything like that. You don't want to do that. But God forbid anything ever happens to a loved one, you got to put your own boots on the ground too and be your own advocate or your family member or your loved one's advocate, because this is what they had to do in this situation. And I just cannot imagine what it was like going back there for the 3rd time, looking in and peering through a little bitty blind. Just seeing that space when you're looking through window blinds, you can see that little thin line, and seeing your child on the floor with their hands duct taped and a bag over their head and the cell phone, and just heartbreaking. And then dealing with the 911 operator at the same time. So what do y'all think? Have y'all heard about this case? What do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section down below. Other than that, I hope you all have a wonderful weekend. I will see you guys very soon. Thank y'all for watching, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Love you guys. Bye.